LG remote control cannot manipulate a Samsung television. When you bring it and you press, you're on your own. Because they cannot communicate, they cannot interact. But the moment you bring a Samsung remote control, the first thing you will notice is compatibility. That means Satan was not able to find the needed compatibility to manipulate his life.
I've made a covenant to be speaking raw truth now. I won't be using English to cover it again. Covenant. I just hit it like that.
We saw that Jesus was tempted in all points as like we are, but yet without what? Sin. Why? I want to test if you are following me. Why? He was tempted like you are tempted at all points, but Jesus was yet without sin. Why was that? You are following me. You see, Jesus is a perfect example of God's definition of a man. He had human desires, but his human desires never became lost. Never became lost. So even when Satan came and tempted him at all points, there was no connection. Oh, you're not following me. All right, okay. An LG remote control cannot manipulate a Samsung television. When you bring it and you press, you're on your own. Because they cannot communicate, they cannot interact. But the moment you bring a Samsung remote control, the first thing you will notice is compatibility. That means Satan was not able to find the needed compatibility to manipulate his life. When Satan discovers that his products that he brought to entice you is actually resonating with something you have inside of you, then he can change your channel. I've been long enough in ministry to see ministers whose channels were changed. Oh. A preacher came to my city, very bold, and he began to preach righteousness, and he was bold about it. Suddenly the city began to gather before him. As at the time I was talking, he had a congregation of 700, and my city is a poor city, you must understand that. For you to raise 1 million in my city, not 1 million Ghana cedis. It's difficult to raise 1 million Ghana cedis, very difficult. For you to raise 1 million of our money in my city, you must be helped of God. You must be helped. I'm not a city preacher. That's my difference between me and you. We are in the countryside dealing with the demons. The demons don't dress up before they come to us. They are naked. Could raise all kinds of money. Unfortunately for him, there was a girl we knew on campus as fair as a nightingale. We knew the lady. She was the one that robbed young ministers of their future ministry. The giants, they lost their name in her corridor. So when we went there for a service, a church service, we now discovered that that girl was his secretary. The lady I speak of is tremendously endowed. May the Lord give you understanding. Not just endowment in the, as you discern, but also endowed with HIV. There's an additional top-up in the endowment profile. Satan changed the channel of this man of God. Because the remote control he bought, you see, all that Satan brings to the table in a situation of temptation is enticement. The reason why compatibility is achieved is because there is a personal matter that you are protected that finds compatibility with his remote control. You know, in my city, there's a big river. One of the rivers in Nigeria, River Niger, River Benue. So we are the men of the Benue. So we have a river in our city. This man went there in the night, 12 midnight, and spoke to the river and said, I know you are there. Remain there. Me, I remain here. Then he poured his anointing oil. You remain where you are. Me, leave me alone. I mean, that thing he did, the river did not leave him. It was one of the tools from the river that was pushed and eventually became his secretary. This lady is endowed. You don't understand what I'm talking about. There's physical aspect of endowment. There's spiritual. I told you on campus. If I don't want to go into stories now. The reason why I'm here preaching to you is because I survived that lady. Yes. You know, some of you wear perfumes. What are the names of the latest perfumes? You know, he's the one that knows them. He's the one that arranges them. So I don't know their names. I can't even remember. Hey, help me. What are the names of the? So you know the perfumes you buy. This lady I'm talking about has a spiritual aroma that can draw you. It can draw you. It can draw you. There were like 3 of those ladies on that campus that had that ranking. So the one that was sent to me is not this exact lady that I'm talking about. It's another one of the same ranking. That one pursued me for 5 years. Now, you see, it's something that happened for 5 years. At least you can talk about it for 5 minutes. I don't even want to start. Those, may the Lord help us. After 5 years that she failed, she now preached to me and said, since you have refused to leave your God, don't leave him again. That was the last thing. I'm talking about, there is a square in my city that can take 15,000 people. So when we have serious events, that's why we hold it. There were like 12,000 people in the square. I just got posted to my city after school. I went, got a job, trained us in Abuja, got posted to my city. We were on this crusade ground, 12,000 people. This lady just, it's not 12,000 people. If she wants to spot you, you can't hide. You will find you. You don't need to give her your address, your house address. They will just come. They know you. They know you from the spirit. Hey, I'm talking about endowed people. And the pastor that was speaking everywhere, going to speak to the river, going to speak everywhere, could not see. And that lady changed his channel and blessed him with HIV. We saw him shrink until he died.